All right, so let me see. Who thinks they have number 5 figured out? Nobody. Andrew, you're my go-to guy. All right, so let me see. What did you guys try? If you don't think you have it quite figured out, what do you guys try to do?
I'm just scratching my nose.
Man, I was going to steal second.
I multiplied a -1 times the...
Yeah, good. So you could take a -1 out. That gets a little freaky. So what you could do is you're always thinking about what can I multiply top and bottom by to make these the same. Well, I can multiply top and bottom by a -1. And what would that do for me in that second do? So the first dude's just sitting there waiting. And if I multiply top by -1, I get... That's crazy. And the bottom, if I multiply the bottom by -1, I get...
T minus 2.
-1 times -t is positive t. -1 times 2 is -2. Do they have the LCD now? Yeah, cool. So then what? How can you rewrite that?
T squared minus 4.
Yeah, just slap the tops together over
T minus 2.
just 1 t minus 2, right?
And that's the difference of the squares.
Sweet. And the top you can factor. So the last thing you always do, once you get them all together, and all your like terms are together, the last thing you do is, can I reduce this? Yes, because you can factor the top as
T minus 2.
t minus 2, t plus 2. So then what happens?
The top and bottom cancel and you only get T plus 2.
Yeah, these go away. Schwap. So just the t plus 2 sit there. Cool. So if you put a t equals 7 in there, it'll come out to be 9. It's kind of crazy. So yes, that's the power of that. Any t I want to put in here, I know exactly how it's going to come out. Just add 2 to it. Except for what? Let me add a little something onto this problem. What t can I not use? I can use -2. Be careful. I can't use 2, because 2 minus 2 would make it undefined on the bottom. All right, sweet. So what about number 6? What do you do first, of course? Factor, that's right. So what do you get on this first guy? Kick ass. The second guy. Yeah, 2 and 1 is the only way to make 2 work, so that's quick. Right? So now you step back and you say, okay, who's missing what? What's the first dude missing that the second dude has? X plus 1. The biggest mistake I see here is for some reason people cross through the x plus 2. They like cancel the x plus 2. I think I said this yesterday. That doesn't make any damn sense at all. Even if it was a times instead of a minus, they're both on the bottom. How would they cancel each other? You all right? You all right? You're freaking me out, dude. Are you there? Just... You're freaking me out. You're just intently staring at me. All right. Let's see. What's this guy missing? X plus 3.
That's the thing, yeah.
Now, what do you have to be really careful about now in this problem? What is it? What's the other mistake people make? Yeah, there's always the problem where they put all of those 6 things on the bottom. That's insane, right? The bottom is just going to have what? X plus 1, X plus 3, X plus 2. I like any order of that you want. Right? But what's the problem? What's the mistake they make on the top? Yeah, so what did I say is a good idea here? Yeah, make that a plus and put the negative there. And then it's in your face that that's got to distribute through. So I get 5x plus 5 minus 2x minus 6. Good. So the big mistake is people tell me it's plus 6. And no, it ain't. And what do you get there on the top?
3x.
Yeah, 3x minus 1. And can that go any further? Hell no. There's no way to get one of these out of it. They can't even factor the top, so I know I'm done. Kabam. And that is a 3. Believe it or not. How's that?
This maybe is stupid question, but couldn't you like group the top and then cancel it?
Oh, okay. I'm kind of happy you said that. because this is another big mistake that people make, and I'm always worried that if I show this, somebody will just suddenly start doing it, and it's wrong. So this is a mistake, right? You ready? Oh, I got plenty of room down here. I can put it down here. I think this is what you mean.
Yeah.
And this is why if you notice, this is one way to teach this. This is one way to teach this, is to just put that minus that over the, and then you could distribute the negative too. So if people would do this part correctly, this is another way to make sure that the negative gets distributed. Are you guys kind of with me? So the way I suggest to do it is just to do it right here. And the reason I do that is, when I write it like this, what does it look like you can do? Which you cannot do. It looks like you can do this.
No,
Why can't I not?
because it's minus.
Danger,
not
no
multiply.
That's a mistake. Yeah, because division cannot cancel parts of a subtraction problem. So I'm sorry, I'm not coming down on you, big. I appreciate the suggestion, but that's why it's actually bad to write it like that, because then it's so easy to make that mistake. Because and we're human. There's like too much shit. Let's get rid of some of it. But you're not allowed to. It's too damn bad. I got too much debt. Oh well. Can't you say no? I'll get rid of that one. All right, is that cool? So that's another mistake that people make, but I almost didn't want to show you, because then people start going, that's a good way to do it. No, that's a mistake. All right. So what about this one? This has got 3 parts to it, but it's just like that one we just did. Really, because the only part that you can factor, how does it factor out to be? Gotta be careful. So if it's only 2 terms, it's either squares or cubes. If it's neither one of those, it must be GCF. In reality, you should start with GCF. That should be the first thing you think. And it'll save yourself from doing and getting weirdness. This is why is it really nice to factor like that? Because the other guys have those parts. So what's the first dude missing?
A.
Missing an A. So many guys are like, so am I. What's the last dude missing?
A plus 2.
A plus 2. So now they all have A plus 2. So the answer is going to have what on the bottom? A plus 2. And what do I get on the top there? I get, and remember there's a minus here, so I can rewrite that as plus and negative 3. So then I can see that's going to go through. Oh, yes, ma'am. Sorry.
How come you didn't put the A plus 2 on the top? I mean, yeah, the 10. How come you didn't put
Oh, well, that's what it already has. It has it. I didn't give it to
because
it.
the 10 has that as a...
Yeah, this is its bottom, so I rewrote the bottom. I only put it top and bottom if I have to give it. So why did I put that on both top and bottom? Because I had to give the bottom A plus 2, so I must give the top the same thing to make it legal. The 10 dude already has both of them on the bottom. I don't have to give it anything.
Okay.
I like it. Because, yeah, every now and again I'll see people doing that, and I think they just think they ought to balance the top. No. You only multiply by top and bottom if it's missing something.
Okay.
Yeah, that dude's got it, what it needs. So then what do I get here? I get 5A plus 10 minus 3A minus 6, and then I just got to put my like terms together.
2A plus
2A
plus 10 is 4.
Plus 4.
plus 4, and then what's always the last step?
Factor.
Yeah, whatever you get at we feel like we're done, and we sort of are, but it's sort of like having an answer of 6 over 8. Right? You give me that, you're going to lose a point or something, because you should reduce it. And sure enough, if you take, what can you take out of the top?
2.
2.
Plus 2.
So you get
2 over 8.
you get 2 over 8. Crazy. So all that stuff became 2 over 8. It kind of feels good. I don't know, it might be just me. Maybe that's why I like math. You condense it. There you go. I made it feel a little creepy, but oh well. Condense it. All right. So is that cool?
Yeah.
Is that all right? All right. So let's do this. Let's talk about so now it's this idea. There's a few different ways to do section 7.6. So we skip 7.5. 7.5 you're going to do in 103 or 110, the next level. We're sort of in the chapter right now where we overlap with the next level. So if you take 103 or 110, you're going to start with chapter 7. You're going to kind of overlap. You're going to do a review of factoring. You're going to do chapter 7. Then you're going to get deeper into some stuff we're doing right now. Right, so we skip 7.5. You're going to do that next semester. So 7.6, there's a few different ways to teach it, but I like to teach it based on what we just did. So 7.6 is, we just did expressions, right? Simplifying expressions. So what do we do next normally? We do, now let's put those expressions inside of equations. And then how do we solve those equations? So first off, I want to remind us, how do we solve equations with fractions in them, with just numerical fractions in them? And then we got to figure out what the fractions are, variable expression fractions. Mr. Waller, can you speak English?
Sometimes.
So let's go back in time. This is an earlier problem. We did this before. Just let's remember how this works. You can do it, Jeff. So there's a few different ways to do this problem. One method that I don't teach anymore because it just makes more sense to do it the other way is you find the LCD and you multiply by it. So that totally works. So if you know that way and you want to do it that way, it's a valid way. Me, I think you just make fewer mistakes if you do it the other way. The other way being exactly the way we've been doing it, which is give everybody what they're missing to make them the LCD first, right? And so what I should have, a little side note, an easier problem. If I had this problem, why is that an easier problem? They already have the same, and then what can I do? They're all divided by 5, so what would be a good first step?
To move it to be one side.
Multiply both sides by 5.
Multiply both sides by 5. Why is that a good first step? Because then all my fractions die. That's the beautiful thing about equations. Why are we suddenly able to kill fractions